Hey everybody. So I know on my channel, I usually, of course, do celebrity news and gossip and stuff like that. I give my opinion on that kind of stuff. But don't think for a second that I am like not informed when it comes to the political side of the game, watching this stuff, watching what's going on. For me, celebrity news and gossip is just a nice little distraction from the everyday hustle and bustle of what we see on TV. The stuff that we see on TV can make you crazy if you tune in constantly. The talking heads talk about Donald Trump. He doing something stupid every single day. You know, the Amazon's burning down. There's been another shooting. All that stuff, I'm not saying isn't important. It's just sometimes you need to step away from that. And that's why I kind of made this channel, to kind of be able to step away and have a little distraction, okay, from all of that. But don't think for a second that I am not politically astute, that I don't know what's going on. I always want to know what's going on, especially when I'm looking at my paycheck and I'm seeing that, you know, there's more taxes coming out of my check. Why is it more taxes coming out of my check? When it comes to healthcare, why are my healthcare costs going up? All right, what's going on in my neighborhood, my community, and the Black community? All those things matter to me, okay? Celebrity gossip is just a nice little getaway for a moment. So, a few days ago, Revolt held their summit down in Atlanta, Georgia. There were several panelists on stage, including, of course, none other than Killer Mike. I hope that you guys will take the time, if you haven't already, to watch it. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, give or take. And I think it was worth the watch. Because we as Black people, we really do need to set some kind of agenda no matter what side of the fence you are on. But, you know, there were a couple of highlights and some things that I thought interesting. Of course, Killer Mike, he stole the show. I know it wasn't technically a show, but he stole the show. Also, the exchange between TI Luther King and Candace Owens, where they were having some exchange. And if, like I said, if you watch it, you'll hear it. But what I did not like about the summit is the fact that people were quick to dismiss Candace Owens. Now, for the most part, I don't rock with her. I don't rock with her. She, in my opinion, is wrong 95% of the time. But when she's right, I can't sit here and deny it. I can't sit here and throw out the message simply because I don't like the messenger. And some stuff that she said the other day on this summit, on this panel, was important for people to hear, but they didn't want to receive it because it was from her. Again, she's a conservative pundit. She has her own show called Talking Points. And she loved Donald Trump. All right. She is none of the things that I am, but even I have to sit here and tune in and listen, even if I don't like the woman, and I don't like what she necessarily stands for, don't mean that I think that everything she says is wrong. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys listen in on what Candace Owens said at the summit. Go ahead and take a listen.
On the other side, how are we negotiating? What is the negotiation tactics so that we're not acquiescing to somebody else's agenda, but being clear about ours in the process of giving them our support?
Well, I would say the first thing is that it's important to identify what our agenda actually is. And I think that the most important thing for people in this room to understand is that there is a very small window. Right now, the Black vote is the most important vote in the country. There's a very small window before our vote's not going to matter. These conferences won't matter, and us sitting here won't matter, because illegal immigration, if you're looking at the numbers, every new birth in this country, 60% of all new births are Hispanic Americans, and the Democrats are about, listen, you're saying, let me get to the point. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with it. I say illegal is the new Black because it's true, and there's a reason why they're advocating for open borders. Right now, our vote means a lot, but new births of Black Americans have stagnated. The population growth within Black America has stagnated. So the things that I pay attention to are the numbers. I pay attention to the birth rates in this country, which is why I'm pro putting something down to stop illegal immigration. The second thing that I think is really important, and you may have heard me testify in front of Congress, is the illiteracy rates that are facing Black America. 75% of Black boys in California can't pass a reading exam. Across Baltimore, they looked at 5 schools. They couldn't find a single Black boy that was a single Black child that could pass a basic reading or a math exam. So I caught a lot of slack because I said, this is the Democrat plantation, but I meant what I said. If you look historically at what the plantations were when we were slaves, there were 3 things that were necessary for them to run. The first was our ignorance. Black Americans were not allowed to learn how to read unless we would have our limbs chopped off. And that was because an educated mind cannot be enslaved. So the fact that our schools are in this condition in the inner cities and all throughout America and not a single candidate is talking about it is problematic to me. I think that that's a huge negotiating tool for me. We need to be talking about the inner city schools. Another component, and this is the biggest issue that I think is facing Black America today, which was important to maintaining the plantations, was the breakdown of family. The biggest issue facing Black America is father absence. We have children that are growing up without their fathers in the home, and that is being incentivized by the government right now via the welfare system. When the government says we'll give you more money if you don't marry the father of your children, you are incentivizing bad behavior in our community. What happens when you remove a father from the home? This is why I do not mess with feminism at all. I'm not with it. This breakdown and mocking masculinity, making it seem like there's something wrong to be a man, all of this contributes to the breakdown of family. When you remove...
Hey, hold on. So, hold on, brother, hold on. There's going to be an opportunity for each of you to engage, but I want to make sure this sister has the right to talk while she's here. That's why we invited her. So let her say what she needs to say, and then let's keep it moving. Come on, y'all.
The single motherhood rate in the 1960s in Black America, and they thought that...
Now, hold on. I want to finish this. This is on your behalf. At a certain point, we can't be assholes. At a certain point, these are Black men and women, and in particular, these are Black women. On some real G shit. It doesn't matter how you feel about her personally. Everything she has just said, Louis Farrakhan said for the last 25 fucking years. With no. And I don't know if she's a fan of Farrakhan. I know me and Tamika are. Bam. But you cannot take the truth and be mad at who tells it to you. So just chill, bruh. Shut the fuck up. Let her say it and receive the information. That's it. I apologize. I digress.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you so much for
I
saying what
want you to continue because I was listening.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been turned into public enemy number 1. I say the same thing when I hit every stage. The single motherhood rate in the Black community in the 1960s, before Lyndon Baines Johnson started the Great Society Act, was 23%. At that time, that was considered very high. 23% of Black people growing up without a father in the home. The single motherhood rate in the Black community today is 74%. 74% of our children are growing up without a father in the home. It was Barack Obama, who I don't even really have anything for, who told you what happens when you remove a father from the home. You're 9 times more likely to end up in prison. You're 6 times more likely to drop out of high school, and you're 12 times more likely to lead a life of poverty. Why is nobody talking about father absence, and why do we keep being silenced when we actually do? This is what Black conservatism is, by the way. It's really not. It's not that controversial.
So Tip, I'm gonna let you come in a second, but I want to make sure I get Katrina.
All right, so I wanted to go ahead and stop that clip because I want to ask you guys, did she tell one lie? Did Candace Owens, conservative, Donald Trump loving Candace Owens, tell one lie in that snippet? And I will say, no, she did not. Everything she said was facts. The problem is that most of the audience didn't want to receive it because it was her. It was her. It was coming out of her mouth. Had it been anybody else saying those very words, even if TI, who was sitting next to her, had said those very words, people would have been up off their feet, clapping, stomping, yelling. But because it was Candace Owens, they didn't want to receive the message because of the messenger. And all I'm saying here is to say, listen, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. That's the old saying. And she was right. She was right. And what we have to do is, instead of panning everything she says, like I saw some people doing, I saw Roland Martin on his platform, just completely dismissing Candace Owens at this summit, when he failed to realize what she was saying is some of the stuff that some of our black leaders have said. Again, Killer Mike pointed it out. Farrakhan has said the same exact things, and people was cool when Farrakhan said it, but they don't like the fact that she is saying it. All right. We know these things. These things are true. Why are our schools in the black communities all jacked up and they're not getting better? Why is the black condition not improving under the leadership of a lot of our communities that are run by black congressmen and black politicians? Why is it not improving? Now, that does not mean for a second that I am going to go and run over to Candace Owens, because again, for the most part, 95% of the time, I don't agree with what she says. She says a lot of things about reparations I absolutely don't agree with, but I cannot sit here and dismiss what she says. That's right. Just because I don't like her. All right. We have to stop doing that. And hopefully the different voices from the different groups, whether you're conservative, Republican, whether you're liberal, you're Democrat, independent, whatever it is you are, one of these days, black folks, we're going to have to bring all of that together and actually create a black agenda, which I know some groups are trying to do. We have got to have a black agenda when it comes down to it. That little summit, it was cute and all. It was cool to hear everybody voicing their opinions and giving their ideas. But until we are ready to have action, until we're ready to sit down and say, listen, I know you want my vote this year. I know you want to be president. You want my vote, or a local politician. I know you want my vote, but this is what we want from y'all. We're not just giving our vote away because we have been conditioned to vote Democrat or your family vote Republican, whatever it is that you vote. We're not about to just keep giving our vote away and not getting anything in return. We keep doing it. We have done that over and over and over again. And the black community keeps getting nothing. Listen, I loved President Obama. I was proud as hell to be able to vote for him twice. But I will not sit here and say that I wasn't disappointed in the end that he did not do a lot more for black people, the black community. All right. And no offense to, the gay community, but he certainly made sure that he looked out for their needs. And I'm not upset with them about that, because they came with an agenda. They had an agenda in mind. They came to him. This is what we want. If you want our vote, this is what we want. And black people, we were just so enamored that we had a black man in office, we forgot to ask him for something. We didn't forgot to ask him for something. So we're not doing that again. And so instead of panning people that we don't necessarily like, again, I have serious issues with Candace Owens, but I'm not going to sit here and throw the baby out with the bathwater simply because I don't like that baby. Okay. I'm just not going to do that anymore. I want to make sure that we as the black community are more politically astute, that we are keeping our ear to everything, and that we don't let these things pass us by. Okay. If we want our votes to matter, then we better not just give it away. We better come with an agenda. And I hope that the people here will be ready to, give our demands. This is what we want. If you want our vote, this is what we want. We ain't just voting for you because you black next time. We're not doing that shit no more. So what do you think about what Candace Owens said? Sound off, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video.